All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual set to compete at BKFC 27. It goes down on August the 20th. We have Connor Tierney and Joe Elmore knuckling up and toeing the line, and happy to be welcoming Joe back onto the show. How's your day going so far there, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. My son graduated this year, so we're spending a little bit of time with family up here in Indiana, LaGrange, near my gym, about 2 hours outside my gym in Detroit. And just enjoying the day, man. Spending some family time, getting ready to go back to the school camp.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, what's the, general plans for the graduation celebrations? I mean, when we were talking last, you were talking about how much like a proud family man you are, so I imagine you guys are going to be having some fun, and I imagine there's a lot of pride going around and all.
Oh, well, I've quit drinking. I'm pretty tight in my fight camp, but my son, he turns 18 as well. I've got a bunch of cousins. My family owns a lake house. My mom had 6 or 7 sisters, so it's more about the family just spending time together. Hell, they fly to London to my fight. They fly. I mean, they fly to anywhere I am. My family rides together pretty gangster style.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really cool card, just being that it's kind of part of that international expansion that BKFC has been seeming to kind of be a part of as of late. Like, what does it, mean to you to be competing in London? I would think that there's a certain level of excitement getting to travel to, like, a certain place to compete and stuff like that outside of the norm.
Absolutely. My wife has been my manager and in my corner. She studies tape and film, so it's almost a family affair. Like I said, I keep my family super tight. My coaching, even my people I coach at my house. I have a gym downstairs and a gym that put mats out in my garage. We really over the COVID, man, we all came closer together. And so it's fun to be able to carry those people, too. My coaches are going with me. My wife's going with me. My family's going with me over there. It's the first legally sanctioned fight, from what I hear, in 155 years since Queen's rule. I'm getting to fight at Wembley Arena. That's Madison Square Garden of London, So to me, it's just going to be a beautiful experience. And I'm a fair play kind of fighter. I don't carry any kind of crazy attitude. So, I know I'm going to have a lot of British fans already because of bare knuckle. I have a lot of fans overseas, and I know I'm going to Connor's home, but man, I feel at home there. The BKFC is my house. I've made a good name for myself, and I'm just excited to be back after a year for sure.
Yeah, you kind of touched on the rules there. Like, is this still going to be the normative, like, BKFC rule set with, like, the clinch positioning and stuff like that, or more, like, resembling, say, like, the, BKB kind of bare-knuckle rule set style?
Oh, no. Bare knuckle fighting championships is in itself unique in our ring and in the rule set. And it's what separates and brings, it's the closest way to bring boxers and MMA fighters together without a bunch of hugging and takedowns. It allows you to incorporate Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. I'm excited about that too, because Connor's got one fight here in America when he fought Jeremiah Riggs, and Jeremiah Riggs is tough, but he's not on my level at all as far as striking knowledge and skills, talent, or experience. I got 50 plus pro fights in MMA and Muay Thai and boxing, and so it's going to be, man, I'm looking forward to come out there and using that clinch and getting inside and then showing people a dirty fight.
Yeah, that's interesting, though, because you do have a wealth of overall combat sports experience, and, Connor Tierney having the 6-1 record, mostly in the, BKB kind of ranks there, but then, stepping over to BKFC for his last one there. So even though he has, the localized kind of experience, you're thinking that just, your broader combat sports experience will be, the big difference maker in this one?
I believe so, man. Connor says, I don't know if it's, he's really an amazing, interesting character. I really like him. I'm a fan outside of having to fight him and wanting to beat his ass this time because of what we have to do in the title only. I think that his hype is going to have him, and be in his own head. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's going to be used against himself almost. And because when I hit him, I've been through everything. Look what Tom Schoaf did to me. He's got amazing boxing, great footwork. There's maybe a little bit of 1 or 2 inch range difference with Connor Tierney. I'm sure that Tom is more powerful, even with the builds. I've seen the way he hits. And, Yeah, man. So I think Connor's going to go out there and underestimate me, and that experience is just going to play right through because he's not going to break me down. And when I'm looking him straight in his face, bloody or untouched or whatever the scenario is, I'm going to be prepared for it. It's going to get in his head. And when I hit him, I promise you, and I don't know what he thinks, and I've looked at everybody he's ever fought, but he ain't ever been hit near as hard as I'm going to hit him.
Yeah, and you did mention earlier... Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, you mentioned earlier just the fact that you're, like, getting back after a period of, being out of the circle and everything like that, just out of the competition space there and everything like that. Was there any kind of, like, dialogue about getting a fight going sooner than this? Like, was the hiatus related to anything in particular? Like, what was the, I guess...
I tore my... See, people don't know this, but I fought Leonard Garcia with a 100% tear of my subscapula. 5 days before it, I was hitting hand pads, and I felt something in my shoulder pop. And literally, it was a huge fight. It was my main event. I fought my third fight for them. I called Dave, and I was like, hey, man, listen, I think I fucked my shoulder up really bad. I could not throw a left hook. I had no rotation there. Come to find out, I had a 100% tear in my subscapula. I went and got some cortisol, shot that shit up. That's why when you watch the fight, I was only throwing that jab. I wasn't rotating it and following up with a left hook. I just knew I could get through that fight, and I thought I could still knock him out with my right hand. So I've been taking the time, which, of course, I broke my right hand in the second round when I uppercutted him, lifted him up. So I was fighting with a torn shoulder, broke hand, and it took about 6-7 months to really, after healing from that fight, getting the surgery, going to therapies before I could get back into training. So I was training for the last 6 months at 100%, but I spent the first 6 months doing rehabilitation, making sure everything was perfect. I'm going for the world title. So like I said, I quit drinking alcohol, even for fun and just silly stuff, maybe one drink or something with a family member, but I got to a point now where I'm eating vegan diet, organic foods, protein shakes, and I'm treating myself like a champion because I want that 165 world title more than anything.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a much clearer...
What comes with it, but that title's a certified degree.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to describe it, and I feel like there's a much clearer picture of the title picture, like at least based on the last time we were talking ahead of the Garcia fight there, because like there was no one in that champion kind of position, but now we've already had like Elvin Brito and now Luis Palomino as champion there, and I feel like you have the record and the experience to get back to it there, so I imagine you're excited that it's like a little more clear at the top at 165 pounds.
Well, yeah, it's got more competition too. I just saw that they God, I can't say his name right now, Jesus. But the Muay Thai world champion, he's like a 15, 20-time Muay Thai world champion, man. They just brought in, and I don't know if he's going to be at 55 or 65, but they're bringing in some of the top talent in the world, and it's really exciting to just even to be fighting, man. I got Michael Venom Page. I'm a featured fight. And was originally the co-main event, but now a featured fight underneath him, Paige Van Sant, and all these other people. Mike Perry, we're flying down to do this news conference. I believe it's the 22nd. We're having a press conference, and they're flying MVP in, and it's just an honor, man. All the people they're bringing in and how fast this is going. It's faster and faster and faster, and I'm more excited to be a part of it because of that,
Yeah, and you were speaking to your wealth of combat sports experience and some other disciplines earlier, and it seems like BKFC, just bare knuckle fighting in general, is like the most comfortable fit, just considering all your attributes and your skill set there. Do you think that's a fair characterization there?
Well, that's my favorite. Like my wife said, man, can't nobody outman me, dude. I'm a hard-working, tough, I don't know, God, call it the universe, whatever you want to call it. Something made me to stand in front of a fence and guard the fucking village, because I live in a business world, and I'm a smart gentleman on top of willingness to protect. So when I go out there and I fight, I take boxing, I've got grappling, I'm strong, I've never been dropped by a punch. Still, out of all my fights, I've never been dropped by a punch to the face. And BKFC's made the guys that are willing to go out there. We're not trying to... And there ain't a fight where you can really slip and move. That ring is huge, and you basically have to go in there and fight. And even if you do get hit, you got blood, you got to be able to stand it and tough it out. And it just takes so much different things to be able to do the bare knuckle. That's why I'm mind blown and love the girls fight so much, man. You got some. It's just everything is useful there. No matter what martial art it is, if you use it the right way, you can use it at BKFC. And like I said, it's just no grappling. It's a fight. It's all used to fight.
Yeah, and I mean, just you're positioned quite well in the division, like I was saying before there, and it's kind of cool that like they've kind of instantiated certain rankings too, kind of speaking to the prior point of like there being a more clear picture of how things go. I mean, I think in your last fight, even though there was some like stakes of it potentially being a title eliminator, but there weren't like quote unquote like official sort of rankings at the time. So like, how do you feel about the rankings kind of being put into place since the last time you fought there?
I mean, I like that they're trying to do something official with the rankings, but I don't consider them official because they got some bullshit rankings. And Jim Allers has never fought at 165. He got beat up by Palomino when he did. I mean, I was number 1 in the world, and I lost the fight to Leonard Garcia, who was the Mexican champion at the time, and I dropped to number 3. But Caleb Harris got hit, and he got beat for the second time in a row by Brito, and he drops 1 point. And I have 2 guys that have 1 fight ranked above me, and it's really I know what it is. I'm one of the highest paid guys on the level I'm at with BKFC, and I have it in my contract. If I win the title, I get a big bonus, and they know I'll fight anybody. I think it's almost a mind game to make me hungry to go call these people out because they know if they kind of hide that from me and hide the title and hide what I want from me while paying me, then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to run my mouth and I'm going to make sure I get those fights. Same way I did with Leonard Garcia. I love him. We're friends now, but I called for it every single fight after I knocked that wheel. I said, I'll see you BKFC 12. Of course, they put me right on that card. They called me asking me if I wanted to be on it. I fought Tom Shope. I said I was going to get fight of the night, and it was going to be a bloody war, and it was. And then after the fight, I said I wanted to fight Leonard Garcia. I'm not fighting nobody else. And at the time, he was retired, so he wasn't retired. He had one more fight contract left in his contract, but he said he wasn't going to do it. And when he saw that, it said it energized him and made him want to train again if he wanted to come in and fight. So I made that fight happen. Like I said, I had bigger plans if it wasn't for my shoulder. I had things laid out, and I was calculated everything to I put a science behind it. The entertainment, my wife, the different things we do with sponsors, and like I said, we hit a bump on the road, but now I'm back, and yeah, I'm glad they have them because I'm going to fuck them all up, and I'm going to be at the top of them. There's nothing they can do to stop that.
And I'm kind of curious, like, where you've been mostly getting in work, because, like, when we were last talking, it seemed like there was a few spaces you were at there, like, X3 Sports seemed to be pretty big, Gracie Baja, you were that there, and then invited to American Top Team Lima. Like, where are you putting in the work nowadays?
Same places, man. I got a private coach who comes in from Detroit. I go to Knuckle Up with Warren Thompson. Warren Thompson just fought for BKFC, and he just won the inaugural heavyweight world title last weekend for Lion Fights. And I go with them every Thursday, Saturday, and we do sparring, man. We have Chris Barnett, a lot of UFC guys. Man, Atlanta, all the gyms, I don't work at any of them anymore. I'm independent and own a couple of my own businesses and things like that now. So I cross-train with everybody. I'm not, especially with bare knuckle, as long as you're respectful and you've been over the years, which out of all the fighters, man, I'm one of the ones that can go to any gym, and I'm blessed to be able to do that because anytime anybody has a fight camp, I go help them get ready. Like, it's been my life to put people through fight camps, to coach people. I've got Martina Kroll still. She went out there and beat Jocelyn Jones, has one of the best jabs. I'm her coach. She was a Muay Thai fighter until I started teaching her boxing. And, like I said, I just, yeah, man, I'm just glad to be here. That's it. I'm just glad to be back. It's been so long, and I'm ready.
Yeah, how much do you enjoy that kind of part of it, though, just like imparting technique to different people and stuff like that? I would think it would be very satisfying to see their skills develop around what you're teaching them.
Oh, yeah, they're like our kids, man. My son's 17, like Martina, she's an adult woman, but God, it's like my baby, dude. She calls them, and if she has a question, or if I'm close to my friends at my gym. They're like, we're all like family. So when I coach, I'm learning myself. Sometimes that's why you have a corner man. Somebody teaching your mistakes. And when I'm out there, and especially this time, I've spent more time coaching other fighters here recently than I ever have in my life. And I thought at first, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to be selfish. And I thought if I was coaching other people that I couldn't be at the top of my game. But God, it's improved it because I'm just, my heart gets filled and surrounded by teaching and having other people and see them accomplish stuff. And then at the same time, I'm teaching myself again, reminded not to stay stagnant, to always learn to not get boring or not fade out, So 39 years old and getting stronger and faster and better and smarter and it's because of the teaching.
Yeah, maybe you and your wife can both have Teacher of the Year accolades by the end of the year, eh?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Well, yeah, I'm a different kind of teacher, but she's always going to beat me on that. She's the best damn teacher on the planet.
Yeah, and when we were last talking, you were mentioning how your walkout song was a song that you had recorded, like the beat, and you got everything going with, Jay Killa and stuff like that. Are you going to be keeping the tradition going and walking out to that for this next one?
Oh yeah, like I said, that was funny because the first verse that he made to that was before I was in Bare Knuckle. But he has a verse in it that says, bare knuckle, blood gushing, body crushing, concussions, jaws breaking, steady swinging, and adrenaline rushing. And that's because before MMA was legal, bare knuckle was underground. They used to have a lot of prize fights on a circuit, like Tank Abbott and stuff. I was going to fight with him in a field. And I did some bare knuckle fighting out in the middle of the field where guys would bet a whole bunch of money, and I'd go out there and, man, I was a little dude, but at 150 pounds, I've been able to knock out grown men for a long time. I always hit hard, so I'd go out there and win money, and blood would be gushing everywhere, and I'd be smiling, and I'd be friends with the guys when I'd get done, and he would see that in Alabama. He came to a fight, and that's whenever we became friends. He's like, you're a crazy son of a bitch, man. Well, let us make you a rap song. So they made me one a long time ago, and then this new one I think it was about 5-6 years ago. I was still doing MMA before Bare Knuckle. He comes in and said, let's do a new one, man. I feel like we got some new stuff to say, and at the time, I got back into rapping, so I was like, all right, I'm going to put my own verse on it, too, so I can tell them what I think, and that's where that song came from. So, yeah, it fills me with adrenaline. It brings back good memories. It's nostalgic, and no matter how far you make it, you got to remember where you started, because that's what made you who you are. That's why Conor McGregor's lost. Got who he was.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the backstory. I feel like it's touching on all bases. Like you said, there's like that like nostalgia kind of like reminds you of like what brought you to the dance, as it were, and then just the fact it's your own creative contribution added on to like the new version.
Come rap it live. Talking to David Tillman, and that's the only thing that make it more nostalgic, because he rapped my old song live, and I still haven't had him there to perform this one live with me as I walk out.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I'll have to, not that I have any sway really, but I'll have to pester Dave about that too. I would love to see that entrance.
Yeah, but if we all message Dave, we all got plenty of sway.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's an awesome idea, and I would love to see that come to fruition. But you've been really great with your time, Joe. It's been awesome to have you back on the show. I'm just curious, though, if there's anything you might want to add as a parting thought as we're kind of wrapping up, though.
No, man, just anybody who's listening for the first time and doesn't know who I am, always look me up. Add me online, Joe Hitman 187 on all platforms. Joe Elmore, if you can't find it under Joe Hitman 187. And message me, challenge me. I always tell everybody I'm always going to respond. I check my DMs, my spams, and as long as it's not one of those silly sites or a bot, I'll give it a chance, and we'll say hey, and we'll keep up with each other. So thanks for the support, and I appreciate having me on again.
Yeah, no, mutual appreciation, no doubt. Cool getting to talk to you ahead of this one, man. It's going to be a really exciting fight on August 20th at BKFC 27, which I'm sure is a shared sentiment by everyone else in the bare knuckle community, just a big return and all. So, yeah, just to reiterate, thanks for coming on the show, Joe. Much appreciated, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day too, man.
Thank you. Have a blessed